Hello, Ma, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, Ma, thank you. Thank you for your time today. I'm introducing Miss Kalai Valliyappan today. The reason I am talking to her is because of the profession she is in and the study she has done, which fascinated me quite a bit. We'll talk and understand more.
Nice.
I understand you have done something to do with solar. Tell us what you have done and what you're doing today.
Yes, yeah, so I did a Bachelor of Photovoltaic Engineering, so that's all around how solar cells are manufactured and then put into production and then out into the market and installed. So it might be something small like on a home, or it might be like a large scale system. But I don't do that anymore. I now work for a big construction company and I'm an environmental designer. So I look at projects when they're in the design phase to see how building is going to operate, what solutions we can come around to make it more efficient, and all those sorts of types of things.
Wonderful. Okay, I'm interested in both aspects, but we'll come back to the environmental design part. Let's talk about the solar bit.
Mm-hmm.
I know in Australia we have quite a bit of a presence in solar in all houses, residential and commercial, but it's not the same in countries like India. When you studied, what did you see? Was it a research-based study, or was it more from a solution-oriented, which you wanted to take it to everywhere, basically?
Yeah, so when I studied, it was still, it was being implemented in the market, but it was still very heavily in that research phase as well, trying to make solar cells as efficient as you could, bring down the cost, all those sorts of things. So that's sort of what I was looking at when I was studying.
Right.
And I almost thought about doing like a research-based thesis, just to sort of see if I wanted to do a PhD, right, and go down that route where you do go into making them as best as they can be. But I think the thing when I was going through the degree, it was still quite expensive. So solar wasn't on every home.
Yeah.
And then slowly the government brought in lots of rebates and subsidies, and now like almost every home in Australia has, well, not every home, but quite a few homes have
That's right.
like a system on their roof. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Was it around the design of the solar panel itself, or the whole solution, your study itself?
It was the whole solution, yeah. So a lot of it was the manufacturing of like how you go from a little piece of silicon all the way to a photovoltaic panel.
Right.
And then it was how you string them together, like how you put an inverter next to it, like making sure you've got enough space on your roof, what direction you orientate it. So it was quite a full circle degree. Yeah.
Wow. If someone in India is interested in this field, where do you think they should start?
I think they should first figure out what's in the market, if they want to just install it and like see what they can get, and then understand what is affordable to people, because in a country like India, you've got a very wide range of demographics. Not everyone can afford a 5 kilowatt system, so maybe you start with something small, figure out what their household needs. Like some homes maybe don't have like very good lighting at night, so maybe like something small just to like get them going. Yeah, get them started.
Yeah.
Like start small, because it is still expensive for some people, right? Like it's not easy to buy something like that.
Exactly.
But it's all about scaling it, how you can scale it up and scale it down. And I think in countries like India, there's lots of like micro grids. So like some homes will have a system and another home will have a system, and they'll all feed each other in like a small community.
Right.
So I think India is getting into it a bit more than we realise, and people have like startups have found ways to scale up and scale down for that sort of community.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it from two ways. One, end user based, where I'm just interested as an end user, I'm just interested in putting a solar in my house to save energy and my electricity bill, in other words.
Yeah.
The other aspect to this whole thing is, as a student who is just exposed to studies like electronics, electrical, or computers or civil, this is a completely different field. What is your experience has been in Australia and in India from a studies perspective?
Oh, so in Australia the degree is running at the UNSW, and I think there's also one in Canberra.
Right.
And it's getting really big. When I went through, there was only like about, I think 100 of us in the year, and now there's like way more, like a large number of students graduating every year. So the degree is getting bigger and bigger. I hope that it's in India. Like it would be great to have it tacked onto an electrical engineering degree, I think, or if you're doing a renewable based degree, to have it tacked onto a mechanical degree, like you do a master's or something in that area.
Makes sense.
Then you have that, highly technical, traditional sort of engineering base, and then you have the renewable or the add-ons to it. So
But when you study, you don't need to have a...
You didn't need to, no. But a part of me does wish I did some more electrical subjects,
Right.
did a few more mechanical subjects, so you did have that sort of crossover.
Handy.
Yeah, across both areas. I think that would have been very handy.
Let's look at what you're doing today. I know from an environmental engineering perspective, we did a video earlier in our channel where we spoke of waste management and water management. But what you're talking about is more from when you build a house, how do you bring your expertise in designing the whole house? Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, ours is all more around like the energy management of the home. So looking at how it's designed, how it's going to be built, you know, like the fabric you're going to use, and the way you're orientating the home, based on the load you're going to have in there. So, you know, number of people, equipment, what sort of system you need in the home to keep it conditioned well, and then making sure you're picking the best system for that home, or like building. Often I work on like big scale buildings, so it's a little bit different than a home, but it's all around energy management. And then also when it's someone's home or where someone's going to spend a lot of time, it's also around the daylight quality they're going to get in that space. You know, like it's very important. I think we all feel better in like well lit areas, right? So like that's sort of some of the things I also look at as well. Yeah. You're
touching on a few points here. Where is the entry point? Is it the owner who is building the house who is interested in this and gets your expertise, or is it the builder who wants to provide everything ticked type of environment? Where do you come in?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because for the commercial industry, it's really tenant driven. Like your big like banks, your big insurance companies want to be working in an efficient building that gets 5-star neighbours, that is Green Star, like 6-star certified building. So those big tenants are really asking for the market to push into like efficient areas. It's a little bit different on the residential side, and understandably, your average mum and dad wants a home that they feel safe and can keep all their family in. They're probably not so conscious of that sort of sustainability aspect around it. So in the residential space, it's more the government pushing those sort of targets. So, you've got national targets based on different areas, like the maximum heating and energy load a house can have. So the government has set those things. So you model it, you make sure it is within those ranges. They're not really pushing the market just yet, but they're at least getting people, home providers thinking about it. But yeah, I think it will take a while.
Is it affordable as an end user? If I'm building a house, is it affordable for me to get someone like you coming in and advising me, or is it a long way to get to that stage?
I don't think many people do engage. I don't think they think about that, which is fair enough. And like, who would you go to, right? Like someone like me works for quite a big company, and we're engaged by other designers and project managers. So I can understand it's not something that an average homeowner would be like, I need to go engage someone to do this. But in saying that, I think there are lots of home providers who probably could give you some information in those areas and sort of direct you in the right way. Like, you need to put double glazing, like it's more expensive, but these are your options. Like, they could probably direct people a bit more.
I want a house that is really useful for me to live in. But this could be a great opportunity for me to get your expertise, for example, to see I get the right house for me and my family. But
in the coming years, I think as we'll get more educated, there'll be that push in that resi market to bring homes to be more efficient and maybe more passive design, and all those things hopefully will start to just change the way we build our homes.
Definitely. Again, for a country like India, a lot of growth is happening, but are we factoring all this? For example, rainwater harvesting is becoming more of a thing in the newer buildings. They want to build a rainwater tank to store water, etc. So we may be a few years away, but things like this is important for a sustainable future. That's for sure. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.